Now on CoastTV News.
Death and destruction, the latest as U.S.-Israeli strikes kill Iran's supreme leader, plus what leaders across Delmarva have to say. Polar bear plunge events pack the boardwalk. Organizers share the success despite some cancellation. Companies and community, what the Delmarva Job Fair was all about.
We melted snow today thanks to sunshine and milder temperatures, but wintry weather makes a brief return beginning Sunday, maybe a touch of snow early Tuesday, then a big warm-up for the end of next week. Details coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Iran's supreme leader killed by U.S.-Israeli strikes. Good evening, I'm Emma Aiken. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei dead following a major attack by Israel and the United States. President Donald Trump announced the death earlier, saying it gave Iranians their greatest chance to take back their country. Khamenei, who reigned as Iran's supreme leader for the past 36 years, was killed after a joint U.S. and Israeli aerial bombardment that targeted Iranian military and government sites to dismantle the country's nuclear program and force a regime change. Iran has launched attacks in retaliation, targeting U.S. facilities in nearby countries. Right now, Americans in the Middle East are being told to shelter in place. This is just the first wave of what is expected to be multiple attacks. Iranian state media says more than 200 people were killed today and hundreds more were injured. The head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard and a top security advisor to the late Supreme Leader Khamenei were also killed in the American-Israel airstrikes on the country, according to state media. Looking into President Trump's decision to launch these attacks, what prompted him to make the call right now? NBC's Garrett Hake has the story.
After months of close coordination with Israel and weeks of direct negotiations with Iran, President Trump ordered the attack overnight from his Mar-a-Lago home. The president briefly dropping in on a charity gala held in the ballroom.
We gotta go work.
Then huddling with advisors to monitor strikes in a makeshift command center, seen in these White House photos. The president explaining his decision-making in a video posted at 2:30 this morning.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore.
The administration's analysis was that Iran's efforts to reconstitute its nuclear program after last summer's strikes, along with its refusal to discuss its ballistic missile program, constituted a, quote, intolerable risk to the U.S., according to senior administration officials. The calculus, a preemptive strike would risk fewer U.S. and allied casualties than sitting back and waiting. As the president traveled to a rally in Texas yesterday, a strike decision seemed far from certain.
We haven't made a final decision. We're not exactly happy with the way they negotiated.
How close are you to making a decision on strikes?
I'd rather not tell you. You would have had the greatest scoop in history, right? Now we have a big decision to make. I'd rather do it the peaceful way, but they're very difficult people.
Congressional Republicans have largely defended the president's decisions, while Democrats have sharply criticized them, vowing to force a vote to restrict his war powers next week.
We are spending billions of dollars on this operation, and it's not putting groceries on your table. It's not helping you buy a home. It's not helping you send a kid to school. This is not what Americans want.
Leaders across Delmarva responded today. Delaware Senator Chris Coons saying in part, quote, "This is not how a democracy goes to war. This is an illegal war launched without meaningful consultation or the consent of Congress," unquote. Meanwhile, Maryland Congressman Andy Harris saying in part, quote, "The world is a better place with Iran's supreme leader, who was also the world's leading sponsor of terrorism, dead," end quote. We do have much more on all of this, including more thoughts from our local leaders right now on CoastTV.com. And we are now taking a live look outside into Dover. Our first alert meteorologist, Bob Try, he joins us. Bob, it was sunny and it was warm today.
It certainly was, and we really melted off a lot of that snowpack, but there's still quite a bit left, and we had a lot of water from that. Watch for refreeze as we see temperatures getting near freezing. 36 in Millsboro now, 34 in Long Neck, Gumboro 37, 41 at Indian River Inlet right now. The winds are calm, and I have noticed some ground fog, so watch for that overnight. Some of that could be dense as we head into Sunday morning. Otherwise, we're looking at clear skies right now. Had some high clouds earlier on, but I am tracking a cold front back to the west, a leading edge to wintry air. You see some snow and rain across the Ohio Valley. A lot of that will dry up before it gets here, but overnight as temperatures fall through the 30s, watch for that refreeze as we go into Sunday morning, heading off to church or breakfast. We're looking at temperatures in the 30s and a much colder day tomorrow as that winter chill returns, only in the 40s in the afternoon. Day part forecast has a lot of clouds tomorrow, breezy and colder, but it's a brief return to winter because we're going to warm up big time as we go into next week, maybe 60s and 70s. More on that coming up a little bit later on.
In Rehoboth Beach, raising money for Special Olympics Delaware continued today, despite the main polar plunge and 5K race being canceled this weekend. CoastTV News reporter Drew Bellinger shows us the success despite the changes and the people who showed up.
Crowds still filled the Atlantic Sands Hotel and the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk.
We still have over $1 million that has been raised.
Alex Seymour with Special Olympics Delaware says roughly 900 people, nicknamed polar bears, checked in on Friday.
That's what this is all about. It's for our athletes, to celebrate our athletes, to raise money for our athletes so they can compete in sports completely free of charge year-round.
At the hotel, vendors brought the fire and the ice to the Fire and Ice event. People from all over came to taste chicken wings and ice cream. Dan Green from Bears says he comes to the plunge every year.
Down here is obviously seasonal, and this is the boost that they need to get through. And like I said, so a lot of us still came down to support the community.
The events in Rehoboth Beach were not just limited to the hotel. Restaurants like Downtown Bethany Blues were one of 15 participating in a chili contest. Rory Baldini says events that boost off-season business are crucial.
Obviously bummed that the Parliament Plunge not happening and the 5K didn't happen today, but people are still in town, parking spots are hard to find, and we're still jamming.
Despite the main plunge being canceled, the support for Special Olympics Delaware made plenty of waves in Rehoboth Beach. For CoastTV News, I'm Drew Bellinger.
And this brings us right into our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what does canceling the plunge mean for winter in Rehoboth? Let's take a look at the updated results. 65% say safer weekend, that went down a little bit, while slower season, 25% went up, and 10% say needed break. And if you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttv.com or on the mobile app. Switching gears, Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly car crash early this morning. Troopers say just after 2:25 a.m., a pickup truck was driving west on Laurel Road near Curley Road. You see it here on your screen when the driver failed to navigate a slight curve. Police say the pickup went off the road into a deep ditch, hit a tree, and flipped onto its roof. According to troopers, the 26-year-old Laurel man behind the wheel was not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene. His name has not yet been released as family is being notified. What some neighbors thought were explosions this morning turned out to be sonic booms, according to the Seaford Police Department. Seaford first responders were first sent to Stony Branch Road just after 10 a.m., then to the area of Herring Run Road and Mears Drive about 30 minutes later after reports of loud blasts. But Delaware State Police say troopers checked it out and found nothing. Sussex Emergency Management says fire units also investigated with no signs of an explosion. Seaford Police later posted that several jets flying overhead caused sonic booms, which likely sparked the calls. In Georgetown, today was the Delmarva Job Fair. Local businesses gathered together to meet job seekers and help simplify the job search process. Some of the companies there were Delaware Technical Community College, Delaware Electric Co-op, the Milford School District, Christiana Care, and the City of Salisbury.
I think this is very helpful for us with the hiring process. There is actually truly quite a variety of folks here. Like I said, I've I've met retired folks, people who just moved to the area from other areas and are looking for jobs.
We are just getting started here on Coast TV News at 11. Coming up later, Stitching a Piece of History, a unique event in Lewes as part of America's 250th birthday.
We melted quite a bit of snow today with a high of 58 in Georgetown, some 60s farther inland, 40s at the coast, a low of 26. Normal high now is 50. It's a brief return to wintry weather, maybe a touch of snow Tuesday morning, otherwise showers and then much warmer. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
But first, from a blizzard battering the coast to affordable housing across Delaware, it was a busy week here on the peninsula. We have a recap of the week when we're back in just 60 seconds. From a wild snowstorm to boardwalk and parking rules, there was a lot going on this week here on the coast. Charlie Sakaitis has a look at our week in review.
Monday, Delmarva was hit with a blizzard. Power lines down, trees down, some roads closed, and thousands of people without power in their homes. Tuesday, the coast still digging out. At the BVSPCA Shingle Point Road location, staff was forced to relocate all of their animals to the Georgetown campus, even though the Georgetown campus had fallen trees damaging sections of fencing around the facility. Wednesday, Fenwick Island considering changing parking rules. The council will have its first reading to change the ordinance that would allow parking on empty lots in the commercial district, which would help businesses including Surf Bagel. Thursday, the Ocean City Council extended the hours that you're allowed to ride bikes, boards, and roller skates on the boardwalk from noon to 2 p.m. Friday, Delaware trying to open the door to more affordable housing in the state. The State Housing Authority picked 8 municipalities and Sussex County for a new zoning and land reform pilot program to modernize local zoning codes and land use. For your weekend.
Still to come, students stitching. Hundreds of Delawareans sewing a piece of history as America approaches a big milestone. And coming up next, Bob Trihey is in the Coast TV First Alert Weather Center tracking the latest. He has your full forecast after this.
It was an absolutely gorgeous end to the month of February today. Lots of sunshine, melting a lot of snow, and well inland, we were in the low 60s, 63 in Salisbury, Cambridge, and Easton at 61. Cooler 40s along the Delaware coast and only 53 in Ocean City. As we look at the Dry Tech cam right now. Now, our storyline Sunday and Monday, the wintry weather returns. It's going to be colder and breezy with highs in the 40s on Sunday and then 30s on Monday. And then Tuesday, we could see showers that begin as a little bit of snow, a little bit of a mix, especially across the midshore, but really not for the coastal plain as temperatures are warming up and highs near 50 later on that day. Our 5-day precipitation chances, a very low chance tomorrow, but as that cold front comes through, we could be looking at a few showers. It dries out on Monday, then very early Tuesday, maybe a little bit of a wintry mix, and then just rain showers, and then still some scattered rain showers Wednesday and Thursday as we start to warm things up. But right now it's chilly, 36 in Millsboro, 34 in Long Neck, 37 in Georgetown. As temperatures near freezing, remember we melted a lot of snow, so anything that is standing around liquid-wise could freeze tomorrow morning, so really be careful out the door. As we're looking at calm conditions wind-wise, and there is a little bit of ground fog too, so watch for that. Otherwise, we're looking at mainly clear skies right now. I am tracking this cold front back to the west, and that will bring that winter chill back. We see some rain and snow across the Ohio Valley. A lot of that will dry out, but it's going to be that winter chill for Sunday and Monday. As Futurecast shows us falling through the 30s overnight, once again, temperatures near freezing in the morning. Could be a little slippery. Otherwise, the breezes kick in behind a cold front, and we're looking at temperatures only into the mid 40s, maybe upper 40s in the afternoon. That's it. And then tomorrow night into Monday morning, it's chilly. I think some areas could be in the 20s, otherwise lower 30s Monday morning. And then by the afternoon, it's cold with mid to upper 30s. That's it for highs. And then as we go through time, we're seeing clouds increasing as we go into Monday night and then into Tuesday. We're looking at the possibility possibility of some showers with a warm front, some snow showers. And right now, this model is just showing cloudy skies. In fact, this Futurecast model has really backed off the precipitation earlier. They had some snow across the midshore into Tuesday morning with a warm front. Now it's just plain cloudy. I'm a little suspect of that. I think we'll see some rain as we go through your Tuesday and then into Tuesday evening. Snow, I don't think we're going to see any across the coastal plain, maybe a trace across the midshore. Otherwise, on and off showers as we go Wednesday through Friday as temperatures start to soar. Now on Sunday, it's going to be chilly. Lower 40s Lewes back through Dewey Beach, 50 in Chincoteague, and well above normal as we head through March 8th through the 14th. Tonight, 34 mostly clear and cold, 47 with falling temperatures tomorrow. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 35 Monday, and then showers Tuesday, 49, 60 Wednesday. Here comes the big warm up, close to 70 with showers on Friday, and then 73 on Saturday. Remember, clocks go ahead 1 hour as we head back to daylight saving time Sunday morning.
We have been telling you about all sorts of ways America is celebrating its 250th birthday this year, and there is one project that is now underway only for those of us who live in one of the original 13 colonies. Hundreds of volunteers now racing to get tapestries of their state done by a May 1st deadline. NBC 10 reporter Tim Furlong has more on Delaware's tapestry and the fashion students who got a lot of stitching on it done.
Definitely. It's definitely the biggest thing I've worked on.
A couple dozen University of Delaware fashion students helping to stitch Delaware's piece of America's tapestry.
And I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of like put your mark and, and being from Delaware, I was like, might as well.
A Georgia artist came up with the plan that tells lesser known stories of Revolutionary War heroes, including this man from Lewes, Delaware, who protected his town from the British. All the tapestries will be combined to go on display at a Virginia museum this summer, and then will go on tour for the following couple of years. But the deadline to get it stitched is getting here soon, so Delaware's two project leaders got lots of new stitchers involved, including the UD students.
We just put the word out. We created social media pages and just got the word out. We took it to other places, lots of other places, and we took it to libraries and we took it to museums.
Hundreds of people up and down Delaware have now done some stitching. This includes the governor, and it now includes me, and of course it includes the UD fashion students who are really, really good at this.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's very important to the overall nature of craft, and art is having it community-based.
It is absolutely okay that some stitches aren't as good as others, and in fact that's kind of the point. Just like our country takes a lot of people working together, doing their best to make something that together will be better than the sum of its parts. It is imperfect, but it is ours to be proud of.
But that's the beauty of it, is that you see the inconsistency. When you see the inconsistency, you know that humans worked on it, right? And that's really satisfying to see.
I'm Tim Furlong, Coast TV News.
In Lewes, a similar event took place today where the Daughters of the American Revolution held a stitching event at the Mall House. Community members were invited to help sew together a panel that will be presented at a nationwide exhibit honoring the original 13 colonies. City of Lewes representatives showed up to leave their mark on history in the first town in the first state.
And we wanted to have people experience the history of stitching on this panel in this historic location. The panel's traveling all over the state, and people all over are putting stitches in.
For us to stitch together and just talk about and learn the history of the 13 colonies, tapestries that are coming together. So it's just part of history, and it was nice to be a part of that as well.
Kelly says the next event will be a presentation from Jeffrey Rosen on his book, The Pursuit of Liberty, on March 28th. After the break here on Coast TV News at 11, Delaware State Parks, how much more it's now going to cost you to visit. It is almost March, and starting tomorrow, it is going to cost more to get into Delaware State Parks. At ocean parks like Cape and Lopin, the in-state daily fee is going from $5 to $10, while the out-of-state rate is doubling from $10 to $20 to get in. The fee hikes also apply to inland parks, annual passes, and senior lifetime passes. DNREC says this is the first increase in 10 years and that park users help fund about 65% of operations and maintenance. However, not everyone is convinced that the state is making the right move.
Doubling is not fair. Could have been, if they raised it 10%, perfect. Doubling it is tough.
Denrex says the added revenue will help support maintenance, staffing, and other park operations as the state heads into the spring and summer season. A North Texas man says a simple notification on his smartwatch may have saved his life. Bianco Castro shows us what started as a routine fitness tracker alert turned into a shocking diagnosis and a life-saving procedure.
For years, Brad Jackson of Plano has worn his Apple Watch to track his walks and runs. Never did he expect what happened last summer.
I had my watch go off. I looked at it. It said, you got a pulse of 32. I thought, okay, maybe it's a malfunction. So I waited, and it did it again.
32 beats per minute is considered dangerously low, a condition known as bradycardia.
Did you feel anything, though?
Felt nothing.
You just got the alert on your watch.
Got the alert.
Brad says he didn't give it much thought since his heart rate quickly returned to normal. But here, this chart from his Apple Watch app shows what happened a few weeks later. His normal resting heart rate at 60 beats per minute dropped to the low 30s again, and this time it stayed there.
And I just didn't feel right. I couldn't feel good any hour of the day. And this was an interesting data point. When I would lay down to sleep at night, I could literally feel my heart beating against my chest.
And that's when he says he decided to call his doctor. Within days, doctors implanted a pacemaker to regulate his heartbeat. His experience is part of the reason why industry experts say 2026 will see the biggest shift yet from fitness tracking to medical-grade intelligence. The FDA even giving clearance for more of these types of heart screening capabilities.
Do you feel like you are back to 100%?
Absolutely.
Brad credits his watch for saving his life, but knows that it was ultimately his choice not to ignore the alerts. Brad says he's grateful he connected the dots when he did and believes that small alert made all the difference.
If you're headed to church in the morning or just grabbing some breakfast, watch your slick spots, sidewalks, side roads, as we saw that melting snow refreeze as temperatures are near freezing. Cold front comes through tomorrow. Lots of clouds and temperatures only into the upper 40s, but feeling much cooler with the wind. Remember to get your latest forecast by calling the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. It's sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. It's cold on Monday, 35. Could see a touch of snow early Tuesday. Otherwise, showers 49. We're up to 60 Wednesday. Showers the rest of the week, close to 70 Friday. Then we're in the low 70s next weekend. Clocks go ahead 1 hour Sunday morning for daylight saving time, and then upper 60s Monday and Tuesday. Is this the end of winter, Emma? Well, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Love those numbers, Bob. Thank you. And thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night.